पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय। नामाचार्य शीला हरिदास ठाकुर की जय। शीला प्रभुपाद की जय। हरे कृष्णा devotees. Dandavat pranam. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada and Guru Maharaj. This is Premanandini Devidasi from Ashburn, Virginia. Thank you so much for joining the morning japa session and for wonderful chanting. Here's a quote. I'm going to read a few quotes by our founding Acharya, Srila Prabhupada, on japa and chanting. Japa means that the mantra is chanted softly just to hear oneself, whereas kirtan means that the mantra is chanted loudly for others to hear. This is from Nectar of Devotion, chapter 9. Chanting should be heard by the chanter himself, not for exhibition. This is called japa. Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 2, Chapter 1, verse 11. And the first offense is inattentive chanting. One must chant and hear attentively. Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 6, Chapter 2, verse 3 purport. Our Bhagavatam speaker will be joining us shortly. So, meanwhile, may I know who all have joined the call today?
Hare Krishna Mataji and Hare Krishna to all the devotees. This is Surinder Bhandari from Maryland. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Surinder Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada and Guru Maharaj. Thank you so much for chanting wonderfully, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna Mataji and Hare Krishna to all the devotees on this call. This is Geeta from Maryland. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Gita Mataji, Dandavat Pranam. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada and Guru Maharaj. Thank you so much for joining, Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji, this is Amritamani Devidasi from Augusta, Georgia. Hare Krishna to all the devotees, all glories to Srila Prabhupada, all glories to Guru Maharaj. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Amritamani Mataji, Dandavat Pranam. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada and Guru Maharaj. Thank you so much for joining us for the Japa session, Mataji. Thank you for your wonderful association.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Madana Pranam to you and all the devotees on the call. Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Guru Maharaj ki jai. This is Rupini Padma Devi Dasi from Orlando, Florida. And I've already started the recording.
Sure, Mataji. Hare Krishna, Rupini Padma Mataji, Dandavat Pranam. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada and Guru Maharaj. Thank you so much, Mataji, for joining the call and for wonderfully coordinating so many services. Hare
Mataji, Hema Gopi Mataji is joined.
Okay, so I see that our speaker has joined today. So, Hare Krishna, everyone, Dandavat Pranam. Please accept my humble obeisances. Today we are extremely fortunate to have Her Grace Hema Gopi Mataji joining us from Mayapur, India. Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandavat Pranam. Please accept my humble obeisances. Mataji is going to speak on Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 8, Chapter 12, verse number 27. Mataji, whenever you are ready, you may take over the call. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna. Let's start today's presentation with a prayer to Radha Madhava by singing Jai Radha Madhava. Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari
Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari
Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari
Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari
Yashodanandana Braja Janaranjana
Yashodanandana
Yamuna Tira Vanachari
Munatira Vanachari
Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari Hari.
Jaya
Jaya
Radha
Puja
Puja
Bihari.
Bihari.
जय श्री श्री राधा माधव अष्ट सखी वृंद श्रीमान महाप्रभु की जय। पंच तत्व भगवान की जय। नरसिम्हदेव भगवान भक्तराज प्रहलाद महाराज की जय। श्री 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 जगन्नाथ बलदेव सुभद्रा महारानी की जय। श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय। सामवेद गौर भक्त वृंद की जय। All glories to the assembled devotees, all glories to the assembled devotees, all glories to the assembled devotees, all glories to Sri Guru and Gauranga, all glories to Srila Prabhupada. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Devaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Devaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate
Bhagavate
Vasudevaya.
Vasudevaya.
We are reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 8, Chapter 12, verse 27 onwards. Verse 27 reads, his senses being agitated, Lord Shiva, victimized by lusty desires, began to follow her, just as a lusty elephant follows a she-elephant. I'll read a few more verses till we reach a verse with Prabhupada's purpose. After following her with great speed, Lord Shiva caught her by the braid of her hair and dragged her near him. Although she was unwilling, he embraced her with his arms. Being embraced by Lord Shiva like a female elephant embraced by a male, the woman, whose hair was scattered, swirled like a snake. O king, this woman, who had large high hips, was a woman of Yoga Maya, presented by the Supreme Personality of Godhead. She released herself somehow or other from the fond embrace of Lord Shiva's arms and ran away. Verse 31 has a purport from Srila Prabhupada. So we will just try to recite this Sanskrit verse. Tasyasau padavim rudro.
1 minute, Mataji. You want us to follow you?
Okay. Yes,
Let
please.
us follow.
Tasyasau padavim rudro.
Tasya. 1 minute, Mataji. You can open the verse now.
Savapada Vimsutro.
31 verse. Tasyasau padavim rudro.
Vishnur adbhutakarmanaha.
Vishnur Adbhuta Karmana.
Karmana
Pratyapadyata kamena.
Pratyapadyata kamena
Vairineva vinirjitaha.
Vairineva vinirjitaha
Tasyasau padavim rudro.
Tasyaso padavim
Rudro.
rudro
Vishnur adbhutakarmanaha.
Vishnu
Vishnur Adbhuta
adbhuta
Karmana.
karmana
Pratyapadyata kamena.
Pratyapadyata
Pratyapadyata
kamena
Kamena.
Vairineva vinirjitaha.
Vairineva
Vairineva Vinirjitaha.
vinirjitaha
Tasya padavim rudro
तस्यासौ पदवीं रुद्रो
Vishnur adbhutakarmanah
विष्णोरद्भुतकर्मणः
Pratyapadyata kamena
प्रत्यपद्यत कामेन
Vairineva vinirjitaha.
वैरेणेव विनिर्जितः.
Would someone like to recite the verse individually?
Yes, Mataji, I can do it. तस्यासो पदवीं रुद्रो विष्णोरद्भुतकर्मणः प्रत्यपद्यत कामेन वैरिणेव विनिर्जितः.
Hare Krishna
Anyone
Mataji.
else? Yes, please.
तस्यासौ पदवीं रुद्रो विष्णोरद्भुतकर्मणः प्रत्यपद्मतकामेन वैरिणेव विनिर्जितः. Hare Krishna.
Anyone else?
तस्यासौ पदवीं रुद्रो विष्णुरद्भुतकर्मणः प्रत्यापद्यत कामेन वैरिणेव विनिर्जितः.
Tasya, of he who is Supreme Lord. Kindly repeat. Tasya, of he who is the Supreme Lord.
तस्- तस्य
Asav. Kindly repeat. Yes, please.
Yes, Mataji.
आस्तौ
Asav, Lord Shiva.
Lord Shiva.
Lord Shiva.
Padavim, the place.
Padavim, the place.
Rudraha, Lord Shiva.
Rudraha, Lord Shiva.
Vishnuhu, of Lord Vishnu.
Vishnuho, of Vishnu.
Adbhuta Karmanaha, of he who acts very wonderfully.
Adbhuta Karmanaha, of he who acts very wonderfully.
Pratyapadyataha, began to follow.
Pratyapadyataha, begin to follow.
Kamena, by lusty desire.
Kamena, by lusty desire.
Vairina eva, as if by an enemy.
Wherein eva, as if by an enemy.
Vinirjitaha, being harassed.
Vinirjitaha, being harassed.
Translation, kindly repeat. As if harassed by an enemy
As if harassed by an enemy,
in the form of lusty desires,
in the form of lusty desires,
Lord Shiva followed the path of Lord Vishnu,
Lord Shiva followed the path of Lord Vishnu,
who acts very wonderfully
who acts very wonderfully
and who had taken the form of Mohini.
and who had taken the form of Mohini.
Perfect. Lord Shiva cannot be victimized by Maya. Therefore, it is to be understood that Lord Shiva was being thus harassed by Lord Vishnu's internal potency. Lord Vishnu can perform many wonderful activities through his various potencies. Parasya Shaktir Vividhaiva Sruyate Swabhaviki Jnana Balakriya Cha Svetasvatara Upanishad 6.8. The Supreme Lord has various potencies by which he can act very efficiently. To do anything expertly, he doesn't even need to contemplate. Since Lord Shiva was being harassed by the woman, it is to be understood that this was being done not by a woman but by Lord Vishnu himself. So, a quick overview of this chapter Mohini Murti, incarnation, bewilders Lord Shiva. So, in the beginning of the chapter, um, we see that Lord Shiva heard about the pastimes where Lord Vishnu appeared in the form of a beautiful woman, Mohini Murti, and with great desire to see the Lord in the form of this attractive woman, Lord Shiva gets on his bull and along with his wife Uma, they approach the lotus feet of the Lord. So Lord Shiva is there on his bull with goddess Uma and all his Bhuta Ganas, his followers who are ghosts, the Bhuta Gana. So they all of them together approach the lotus feet of the Lord. And Lord Shiva, he offers obeisances unto the lotus feet of the Lord, and he offers prayers glorifying the Lord. And then he expressed his desire that he would like to see this form of Lord Vishnu that all the demons and other demigods were fortunate enough to see. And when Lord Vishnu heard this desire, he disappears. And Lord Shiva and Parvati are puzzled. Yeah, what happened? Why did he just disappear? And after some time, in a forest in an area surrounded by forest, a beautiful maiden appears, and she's so beautiful. There is a very detailed description of the form of Mohini Murti, how she had a very beautiful sari on her body, and the sari was held by a beautiful belt on her waist, and she was playing with the ball, and she was throwing it and jumping to catch, and the movements of her body, just by seeing those movements, Lord Shiva felt very attracted to her, uh, and by the tip of her eyes she was looking at Lord Shiva in a bashful way, and by the arrangement of the Lord, uh, her clothes, the belt that is tying her sari, it becomes untied, and the clothes on her body falls off also. And as this happens, she's still looking at Lord Vishnu and in a bashful way, with her giving him a sidelong glance. So at that time, Lord Shiva understands that not only is he interested in this beautiful woman, but the woman herself is also interested in her. So even though his wife was there, and they were traveling on Nandi, their Vahana vehicle, and they were surrounded by all his ghost followers, Bhuta Ganas, even like that, he forgot all the rights and wrongs of the situation, and he immediately chases behind that woman, and um, and when the woman sees that Lord Shiva is coming, she runs away and hides somewhere. And Lord Shiva, in today's verse, we saw how he uh, forcefully embraces, yeah, pulls the beautiful woman towards him and forcefully embraces her. And the feeling that Lord Shiva experienced is described in the verse uh, that we read last, verse number 31. It is said that harassed, as if harassed by an enemy in the form of lusty desire. So the sense of lust was so intense that it was like somebody was harassing him, so that was the feeling that he had, that a sense of harassment. And in this way,
Hare Krishna Mataji, we cannot hear you.
Hare Krishna.
Yeah, now we can hear you, Mataji.
So in this verse, we hear something very important regarding Lord Shiva, and that point is that Lord Shiva is not a victim of any kind of material lust. Yeah, it is not that Lord Shiva, like conditioned beings, was subjugated to any form of material lust. He is a devotee, and it is not possible for a pure devotee like him, or exalted personality like him, to be subjugated to ordinary material lust. No, so this is the unique position of a devotee. Whatever he may be going through, sometimes it looks like devotees are going through some hard time, something abnormal or bad is happening to them, and people may just think like, oh my God, how could Krishna, how is possible that a devotee of Krishna has um, been put through a situation like this? How could we then see that Krishna is actually protecting his devotees? So Prabhupada highlights in this purport that whatever Lord Shiva was experiencing was uh, the mercy of Lord Vishnu on him, just as how a devotee always experiences the mercy of the Lord on themselves. This was also a moment where Lord Shiva was experiencing a special mercy of the Lord, and not always the mercy comes in a way that we can see it as a blessing. Sometimes when we are very neophytic in our understanding, uh, sometimes it may look like, oh no, Krishna put us through so much of suffering and trouble, and was he even there? Is he even there? Am I doing the right thing by accepting this process of Krishna conscious? So many questions may arise in our heart, but we should know that sometimes the doctor gives the patient a sweet pill to swallow to cure his disease. And sometimes he may take an injection and put some burning medicine through our veins. And sometimes the doctor may even use a knife to cut us open. And in all of these situations, what the doctor is doing is his care for the patient. So similarly, sometimes we may see devotees getting some rewards that can be very encouraging for their devotional service, and sometimes we may get some chastisement. Somebody may disapprove and try to um, criticize what we are doing, and our authorities, especially in that. And then sometimes we may even get what looks like a abnormally intense or severe situation, and all those are the blessings of the Lord, and all of them are meant to protect and grow our devotion. We might have seen in the case of exalted devotees like Prahlad Maharaj that he was put under the feet of mad elephant. He was put into the fire, uh, and he was thrown into the ocean from top of a cliff, and so many tortures, so many sufferings. And anybody who sees externally, they may not understand, or they may even be thinking, it is so difficult to be a devotee of Krishna. Look at the amount of suffering the devotees of Krishna go through. But it is when the devotee himself or herself and the Lord they are actually exchanging a very intense and special movement of love and kindness towards each other, which will nourish the devotee's spiritual life. And that is exactly what was happening with Lord Shiva. And Lord Shiva, at the end of this pastime, we will see that actually he's very greatly appreciative of this special kind of blessing he got, that he saw Lord Vishnu in the form of a beautiful woman, because of whom his senses were very deeply agitated. And in spite of being in the company of his wife, a man could be agitated or disturbed by another woman who is very attractive, but generally in the presence of his woman, his wife, he wouldn't look at that other woman. He knows that this is like wrong in social etiquette wise. And he had all his followers who look upon him as a master, somebody who is respected very much. So in front of in front of his disciple, a master doesn't behave in a way that is considered socially not correct. No, so there was his wife in front of her. Shiva behaved in a way which is not appropriate. In front of his followers, him being their master, he behaved in such a way that was not appropriate. And the core lesson that we learn from there is, when it comes to Krishna, all the other social norms and etiquette and every tag that comes along, any kind of material designation, no, none of it matters. No, what matters is our relationship to Krishna. And that intense attraction can can help us overcome all the so-called material designations we may have as a wife of somebody, or husband of somebody, or as the master of someone, or a servant of someone, whatever is our social designation. When our relationship with Krishna is strongly established, that takes a higher priority, a higher holding than other lower levels of relationships, which are correct as long as we are in the platform of material world. Material designations and their meanings, they do hold some significance in the material world, but not in front of Krishna. In front of Krishna, we should be like Lord Shiva, act in abandonment and just run towards our Lord and embrace him. And uh, and and everything will ultimately turn out to be the most auspicious for us. And sometimes Srila Prabhupada uses this. So it is a very exalted, pastime, where it's seen, where Lord Shiva is showing that when it comes to surrendering to Krishna, we should act in abandonment. We consider him first, and the material designations and all become insignificant. And sometimes Srila Prabhupada contextually um, uses this analogy to explain, as a comparison, explain how bhakti is um, better than yoga. Because, of course, Lord Shiva is bhakta, Vaishnavanam Yatha Sambho, of the Vaishnavas, he is the topmost of Vaishnavas. But he often is seen meditating and sitting in with postures of Padmasana, legs folded, and fingers, thumb and the index finger put together, eyes half closed, and he's meditating. So the process of yoga, Ashtanga yoga, he sometimes exemplifies that process of meditating. Of course, he's meditating on Krishna, but yogic process is exemplified by Lord Shiva. And Haridas Thakur, he exemplifies the process of Nama Sankirtana, chanting. He is Nama Acharya. So when Haridas Thakur was subjected to the test of Maya, he passed. There was Laksha Hirabai, and she wanted to seduce Haridas Thakur, and he passed. Nothing happened to him. On the contrary, Laksha Hirabai became a devotee herself. So the impact was not on Haridas Thakur, but on Laksha Hirabai. And in case of Lord Shiva, when he was tempted by Yoga Maya, the impact was on Lord Shiva, that he actually lost control. And Prabhupada sometimes uses this analogy to help us understand that the process of chanting is much more powerful than the process of meditation. By meditation, we will not have the power to control our senses, but by chanting, sense control becomes just a byproduct. The main product is developing love for Krishna, prema, and this liberation, detachment, and all these things. These are all like byproducts. Bhukti, mukti, all of these are servants of bhakti. So you will never be attacked by any of these desires to enjoy sense or to get a liberation from material world when bhakti is prioritized. So of course, it's just a comparative analogy, and we should never think that Lord Shiva actually was ever affected by Maya. That is the purpose of Prabhupada's purport, that whatever he experienced was not material Maya. However he acted was all under the influence of internal energy. Devotees are always under the influence of internal energy, not external energy like the material energy. So these are some of the key points that we can remember from this pastime of Lord Shiva being attracted to Mohini Murti. So, to summarize, the chapter is describing how Lord Shiva, with great desire to see the beautiful form of Mohini Murti, the first time where Lord Vishnu is coming as a woman, not as Matsya Kurma Varaha, but as a beautiful woman. So he, along with his wife and Bhutakanas, they go to take shelter of Lord Vishnu, and they glorify, and Lord Shiva specifically requests to see this form, and when he sees the form, he loses control. And Srila Prabhupada explains that this so happened because Lord Vishnu, Lord Shiva is a pure devotee, and hence he was put under the Yoga Maya, or the internal potency of the Lord. And whatever was happening there is an unalloyed interaction between a devotee and Krishna. It is not to be understood as a display of somebody's lustful desires. And from that, we also learn, from this pastime, we also learn how the material designations of being somebody's husband or being somebody's leader and all of those things, they take a lower priority, and the topmost priority is always given to one's relationship with the Lord. And everything else will fall in place once this relationship is properly established. And the apparent shame, the so-called shame that Lord Shiva experienced because of having fallen down, as many people want to call it. It is not a fall down, as Prabhupada explains, but it was an improper behavior he exhibited in front of his wife and his followers. So apparent falling down is also it's also a lesson or a kind dealing the Lord has in order to care for his devotees. And the care from the Lord doesn't always come like how we plan. Sometimes it can come in the form of a sweet pill, which is like some encouragement for our service. Sometimes it can be a burning injection, which is like some chastisement from authoritative figures. Or sometimes it can even be like an operation cut where somebody is cut open, which is like some kind of very great danger or so-called danger or so-called misfortune a devotee might face, and all of them are ultimately blessings of the Lord, and they will bring us good fortune. So these are some of the, and comparing Lord Shiva and Haridas Thakur, Prabhupada glorifies japa as the most powerful process for controlling senses compared to Ashtanga Yoga and other methods, where Lord Shiva is considered an exemplification of meditative process. So these are some of the key points that we discussed today. If there are any comments or questions or any corrections.
Hare Krishna, Mataji, Dandavat Pranam. Thank you so much for such a wonderful class, and Mataji for wrapping up this today's class with emphasizing on the importance of japa, how japa can be um, really elevating us, and then how the mercy of Lord can be received in so many different ways. It's not always consistent from what we see around us. So, Mataji, wonderful class. At this time, I would like to invite anyone who has questions or comments for Mataji. Haribol.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Madhana Pranam to you. Shri Prabhupada ki jai, Guru Maharaj ki jai. Thank you for the wonderful class. I heard you after like a long break, and thank you to Shamarasika Mataji that you came on the call, and that too last minute. Um, because I wanted to ask you, like, even if Lord Shiva's attraction for Lord Vishnu is there, it is still good because, even if Lord came in that form, at least attraction for Krishna is there. So, in the sense that, like, I think these verses are trying to tell us that we have to be careful in the material world not to be attracted to the woman, but, to be attracted to Vishnu, who's beautiful, that is still okay. So that way, Lord Shiva was not at fault anyway. Do we look at it like that, Mataji? The verses?
Yes, Lord Shiva was not at fault at all. He did
Yes.
not, we shouldn't think that he fell down or
Uh,
he slipped from his duty as a husband by running behind a woman in the presence of his wife, or he slept from his position as the master of Bhutagana by setting a bad example in front of them. Uh, none of it is to be understood like that when it comes to Lord Shiva. But those lessons are valid, that one should not slip up from their position when they're taking up a position of a leader or position of a husband, how they should act in an ideal way to uh, be chaste with their wife, or be good example for the followers. Those are true, but and this in this pastime we can see that those are some things we can learn also. But it is not that Shiva fell down. It's just a pastime to give us some learning, that's all. We shouldn't really think that Lord Shiva fell down. Like Parikshit Maharaj, it is not that really he went to offend a rishi, muni, and it is not that he really was killed by a snake. When we come towards the end, we will see how Parikshit Maharaj disappeared from the world even before the Taksha snake appeared. The snake only put fire on his body. He already had gone back to Godhead. So when devotees go through some kind of turbulence, we should know that there is something we have to learn as etiquette, and some values are there as lessons. But the reality is that they're not fallen down or anything like that.
Thank you, Mataji. And also, like the last part you said, is when devotees go through some situation while they're practicing Krishna consciousness, then they have to, the only, weapon you can say or anything they have is just to pray to Krishna, to Guru Maharaj, right? To help them out with the
Yes.
situation.
Yes, just like how Lord Shiva, only thing he could do was run behind Lord Vishnu, who was in the form of Mohini Murti. That's all we can do also when it comes to this is such a harassment. This is the enemy who's harassing me. When we feel like that, the only thing we have to do is just like how Lord Shiva ran behind Lord Vishnu, we should also run behind Krishna. Just, I'm harassed by this, please save me.
Thank you, Mataji. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna. So nice to hear from you.
Thank you. Thank you, Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dhanvat Pranam. Thank you so much for this nectar class, as every time you do. And I'm very grateful for you that today's class was scheduled by actually His Grace Ram Giridhari Prabhu, but he was traveling from Pune to Mumbai and he couldn't give the class. So just 20 minutes before I called Mataji, and Mataji very kindly accepted our request and gave her association and guidance. So thank you so much, Mataji, for being always there. Hare Krishna. I don't have
Thank
any
you,
question, but yeah,
Mataji.
very nice class, Mataji. Nice
We
explanation.
can say
Thank
Hari
you
Bol
for
to
the
Mataji. 3
opportunity
times Hari
to.
Bol. Hari
Haribol.
Bol to Mataji. For
Haribol.
Haribol,
Haribol.
Haribol,
Haribol.
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 Mataji can keep on coming on regular basis. We'll be blessed.
Yes, Mataji. Yes.
Haribol.
Thank you for this great fortune. Giving me this
Haribol.
great fortune of associating with Bhagavatam. I'm very grateful. Thank you, Mataji. Even if it's as backup plan, I'm always very grateful that you think of me as somebody who can offer some service to Bhagavatam. So grateful for that. Thank you, Mataji. ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भागवतम की जय, श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय।
Jai.
Yeah. If he has any question or comment, we can end up.
Mataji covered 31?
Yes, 30, Mataji. Just
30 only, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
31, yes, 30.
Yeah, because
31.
we did the purpose. 32 tomorrow. Okay.
Yes, thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji.
Thank you,
Hare
Mataji.
वाञ्छा
Krishna.
Hare
Hare
कल्पतरुभ्यश्च
Krishna.
Krishna.
कृपा
Krishna
सिन्धुभ्य
Sindhu.
एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की
Vrinda
की
ki
जय।
जय।
jai.
हर ग्रेस
Hema Gopi
हेमा
Mata.
गोपी माता जी की जय।
Jai.
All assembled devotees की जय। धन्यवाद
Jai.
प्रणाम everyone। हरि
Thank you,
बोल।
Mataji. Hare
Haribol.
Krishna.
Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Krishna.
Haribol.
Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Krishna.
Hare
Hare
Haribol.
Hare
Hare
Bol.
Bol. Hare Bol.